court is also satisfied that the state has adequate resources to overtly and covertly monitor the movement of the accused persons, including intercept the accused person's communication. I'm therefore satisfied that the interference of witnesses will not be a compelling reason to limit the respondent's right to liberty. The court, as one of the criminal justice agencies, cannot operate in a vacuum without taking into account the impact of crime to national security and the economy. The court also takes judicial notice that alarming utterances like the ones made by the respondent caused a lot of damage, loss of lives during the post-election violence. I'm satisfied that the prosecution has not established that there are compelling reasons to limit the respondent's right to liberty. The affidavit by Kopronyangau does not state that the respondent has the contacts of the witnesses or that the respondent will intimidate witnesses. The affidavit does not state that the respondent has the capacity to interfere with the government's cybercrime lab. The court is also satisfied that the state has massive resources to overtly and covertly monitor the respondent and can intercept his communication, can monitor his movement. The court notes that the prosecution has requested to detain the respondent for 7 days. The court is satisfied that the state's adequate resources to investigate the case against the respondent, the state has adequate resources to investigate the case against the respondent without limiting his right to liberty. The court also notes that prolonged pre-charge detention can result to arbitrary detention and is incompatible with the constitutionally guaranteed presumption of innocence. In limiting the right to liberty, the court must interrogate whether the detention is appropriate, reasonable, and necessary. The Constitution obligates the state to ensure that all guarantees of due processes are respected when persons are alleged to have committed serious offenses or are charged, detained, and prosecuted. And the court makes the following orders. The respondent is granted a conditional bond of Kenya shillings 5 million with one surety of a similar amount. In the alternative, cash bail of Kenya shillings 2 million. The respondent to report at the CID headquarters once a week. The respondent's free speech rights are limited, that he should not make any comments on the case under investigations, he should not conduct any witnesses, and he should not intimidate any of the witnesses, whether potential or imagined. The respondent should not conduct any of the witnesses either through proxy or personally, and this is the ruling of the court.